When you hear the phrase greatest shooter of all time, only one name comes to mind: Stephen Curry. He has completely redefined basketball with his range, accuracy, and ability to hit shots no one else would dare attempt. For most fans, Curry is untouchable when it comes to shooting. But here's the surprising part: he doesn't actually lead the NBA in one of the most important shooting categories. That honor belongs to Nikola Jokic. Yes, the big man from Serbia, the two-time MVP, and the reigning Finals MVP, currently holds the highest true shooting percentage of any active player, averaging 20 or more points per game. According to the numbers, Jokic owns a career true shooting percentage of 63.8%, while Curry sits slightly lower at 62.5%. On the surface, that might sound shocking. How could Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, not be number one? To really understand this, we need to break down what true shooting percentage actually means. Unlike traditional field goal percentage, which only considers 2-point and 3-point makes versus attempts, true shooting percentage is a more complete measure. It takes into account 3-pointers, 2-pointers, and free throws, giving a full picture of a player's scoring efficiency. Importantly, it gives more weight to 3-pointers, since they're worth more, and it also values free throws, which aren't included in regular field goal percentage. So when you run the numbers, you get an overall snapshot of how efficient a player really is at scoring the basketball. And when it comes to that metric, Jokic sits at the very top. Now, this doesn't mean Jokic is a better 3-point shooter than Curry, far from it. Steph still takes and makes threes at a level no one else in history has touched. But what it does mean is that Jokic is the most efficient overall scorer in the NBA today. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The fact that Jokic holds this edge isn't as surprising when you look at the types of players that usually dominate this stat. Big men, like Zion Williamson and Karl Anthony Towns, are also high on the true shooting list. Why? Because centers and forwards generally score around the rim, where the shots are higher percentage. Layups, dunks, and hook shots are much easier to convert than long jumpers or contested threes. And Jokic, even though he stretches the floor and shoots threes, still gets the bulk of his points in the paint. That naturally boosts his efficiency numbers. For Curry, though, this is where the story flips. The fact that a guard who lives on the perimeter is even close to players like Jokic is what makes his case so impressive. Curry averages over 11 3-point attempts per game, shots that are far more difficult to make consistently. Jokic, by comparison, attempts fewer than 5 threes per game. So while Jokic's number may be higher, the context makes Curry's figure equally, if not more, impressive. It shows just how historically efficient he has been as a shooter, despite relying heavily on shots that are considered low percentage for almost everyone else. At the end of the day, Jokic owning the top true shooting percentage doesn't diminish Curry's legacy, it just reinforces Jokic's greatness. He's not only an elite passer and playmaker, but also one of the most efficient scorers the league has ever seen. And the fact that Curry is even in the same ballpark as dominant centers when it comes to efficiency proves just how special he is. It's rare to see Curry come second in any shooting category, but when it happens, it's a reminder of how incredible Jokic really is. Two completely different players, two completely different styles, and yet both rewriting the record books in their own way. So the next time someone tells you Steph Curry is the greatest shooter ever, you can agree, but also point out that Nikola Jokic just might be the most efficient scorer in the NBA today.